Hello all, 4-Player Squad Gaming here, and this is our Final Fantasy XIV Trial Guide series. The battle in the Big Keep is the final trial of the Hildebrand questline. It is a level 50 trial and is featured in the quest Her Last Vow. It is also worth mentioning, at the time of recording this video, 15 Tomestones of Poetics are awarded upon completion. Get ready for round 2 with Gilgamesh and Enkidu, though this time Enkidu has had a rather large glow up, if big green chicken demons are your sort of thing. So without further ado, let's get into the guard. We can start this trial with the main tank gaining enmity of Gilgamesh and the off tank gaining the enmity of Enkidu. The party should aim to focus damage onto Enkidu, as damage done to Gilgamesh will be healed by Enkidu when it casts White Wind. This will save considerable time. The main tank should aim to keep Gilgamesh faced away from the party to avoid a melee cleave. Gilgamesh will periodically do a point blank AoE called Whirlwind Slash. This deals relatively low damage and is easy to avoid. Enkidu will use Web. This instant ability has no indicator and will debuff the party member hit with heavy and slow. Healers can easily Asuna or leeches to remove these debuffs. Enkidu will also use a frontal cone AoE called Eerie Soundwave. This deals moderate damage, however it can easily be avoided. Gilgamesh will use an ability called Minimum. This will tether two party members together and will inflict mini on them, reducing all damage dealt. The tethered players simply need to run towards each other to remove the tether and the debuff. Keep piling the damage onto Enkidu, aiming to keep Gilgamesh and Enkidu as far away from each other as possible. Gilgamesh will occasionally jump into the centre of the arena and knock all party members back. This deals very low damage and can basically be ignored. Throughout the fight, Enkidu will be using Aero 2, dealing damage to random party members in the form of a huge tornado. This deals moderate damage, so the healer needs to be aware of who is getting hit. When Enkidu gets to quite low health, Gilgamesh will turn random party members into chickens, the original form of Enkidu, and these will be unable to attack. However, they are still important. These chickens need to run and hit the tornadoes left in the area. They will be knocked up and take 0 damage. This is essential as to stop the entire fight area being swarmed with tornadoes that will deal large damage to non-chickened players. In this phase, Gilgamesh will also use Missile. This will mark a random party member with an orange crosshair. This player needs to find some space away from other party members, as the damage can splash to other players. Finding some clear space to take this hit will reduce the damage taken to the party. These mechanics are all then repeated in a random order until Enkidu is killed. At this point, Gilgamesh will run away and we must give chase. After the short cutscene, phase 2 will begin. In this phase, Gilgamesh has unlocked every class and is wielding all their weapons at once. Apparently this isn't cheating. Gilgamesh will have some new abilities in this phase as well as some of the older abilities. The party need to all focus on Gilgamesh and deal damage as normal, and after a short while Gilgamesh will recenter and cast the first room-wide AoE Ice Wind. This AoE will divide the room into a grid, simply stand in the clear space and then swap to the clear space after the first part of Ice Wind pops. At around 90% health, Gilgamesh will use Enchain. This usually targets a healer and roots them, leaving them unable to use abilities or move. This chain will also do damage over time to the healer. The party needs to change focus and quickly burst down the chain that is now targetable. The closer Gilgamesh is to the chain player, the less damage it will take, so the main tank may need to position Gilgamesh further away. Gilgamesh also has a tank buster called Sword Dance. This is a multi-hit cleave that will deal huge damage to non-tank party members, and the main tank will take considerable damage as well. However, this can totally be negated by simply sidestepping the ability or hiding behind Gilgamesh. Gilgamesh will eventually recenter and cast Moonlight. This area-wide ability cannot be dodged, however it deals so little damage that it doesn't need to be. When Gilgamesh summons 4 Dragon Heads, this is the DPS check for this fight. The party needs to change focus onto the Dragon Heads and kill as many of them as possible in the 50 seconds they stick around. They will also use frontal column AoEs that deal moderate damage. The main tank should keep enmity of Gilgamesh and allow the rest of the party to kill the Dragon Heads. Gilgamesh's abilities can overlap with the Dragon Heads, such as the room-wide AoE Bloom Shower. This AoE deals considerable damage, however it can easily be dodged. Lightning orbs will appear in either the centre or outer edges of the room. These act like the flame puddles in the bowl of embers. The circular AoE need to be avoided. Simply walk into the inner if they are on the outer edge, or in reverse walk to the outer if they are spawned in the centre. After the 50 seconds are up, the Dragon Heads will vanish and cast Dragon Strike. This is the DPS check damage, and if all the heads remain, this will deal huge party-wide damage. Simply killing one, we found, is more than enough to reduce the damage to be able to be handled very easily. Gilgamesh can also use Giga Jump, dealing low damage to a random player and immediately after, Mass Immune, charging towards the main tank, dealing moderate damage to anyone in his path. Simply position yourself well to avoid this damage. At around 30% health, Gilgamesh will enrage and use all of his 3 room-wide AoEs one after the other. You will need to be alert and mobile here as to avoid all of the damage from these AoEs. This is easily enough to wipe the party. After this enrage, the mechanics will repeat in a random order until you finally put Gilgamesh in his place. And there you have it, Battle in the Big Keep is complete. Remember to commemorate the player you believe deserves it most and pick up your loot. We give this trial a difficulty rating 2 out of 5 swords. The AoEs are easily avoided and the DPS check does not require much damage at all. The special loot for this trial is the minion Enkidu, the Bart's Clouser card, and the faded copy of Battle on the Big Bridge. Remember to like and comment, and if you haven't already, click the sword in the corner to subscribe. We are 4Player Squad Gaming, thanks for watching.